Someone's little legs gave out. So this adds to my workout because I get to carry 30 pounds of baby. I think, especially with the nice weather, we all need a weekend to just relax. Hi, my name is Melanie Dunn. I'm a design manager with a company in New York, and I make videos on what it's like being a designer. And definitely part of being a designer is being able to rest and recharge your mind so that way you could go and make awesome designs. And with Mother's Day weekend just passing, I decided to just have a fun weekend and just recharge my batteries. Being a mom definitely can be hard on your mental state. And like, a child is not a fully developed being yet. They're still learning and like they're still regulating their emotions. So parents definitely do have a hard time when they try to go out with their children. But I had a really fun time with my kid this past weekend. My family celebrated Mother's Day actually on the Saturday because my fiance is in a show. He's an actor, and they are rehearsing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and they were called on Mother's Day. Just with like the schedule of when the show goes up, they really need all the time that they can get to rehearse. I didn't mind, you know, I understood. Saturday was really nice. We went out to brunch.
Oh, thank you. Is that fun?
Yum yum.
La croissant.
Baby. The food was fine. We did have some gripes with it, but I enjoyed $4 mimosas. So I really enjoyed spending time with my fiance and with our son and just like having breakfast together. So even though the food wasn't that great, like the time I got with them made up for it. Like, I mean, he's like so confused.
Now I'm good.
And then we walked back to our house and got ready because I wanted to go hiking. But when I made that decision, I was looking at the weather and it was kind of like hot and like gross today, but the weather has kind of changed over time. I don't remember the name of this place. It's like a reservoir, but there's a ferry trail at part of it, which is really cool. It's these little like made from found objects, kind of like little houses, and there's gnomes and stuff. So we set out to go to the ferry trail. And then when we got there, the parking was just like so packed. There was no spots by the ferry trail. There was no spots in the lot that's like across the street from the ferry trail. So we ended up having to drive a bit further past the trail into the park, which was fine. But this meant that we had to start at hiking and then hike back to the ferry trail. We got out of the car and we got our toddler and I was all excited, and we went to go into the park and found that the point that we parked at, we had to cross like a waterfall.
I'm going so confused.
It was really like sketchy, but we did it. But we made it across, and then we went into the trail.
Yeah!
Wow.
He's got a little walking stick. It's really, really pretty. I definitely just like looking at the trees and the flowers and like the water. It's like there's a river like the whole way along. It's very nice. It's very nice just being in nature. First one we found is a little door in a tree with a little chair, and Rowan is looking for the gnomes. Oh, he got the chair. Can you put the chair back?
No, this.
But we gotta go find gnomes, right?
Have to see the chair.
Okay, do you want to find the gnomes?
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go find the gnomes. They're a little bit more up the trail that way.
This one's had to do this.
Yeah, you can put it inside.
What's this door? Oh, no. It's broken. You know my fairy house. You know my fairy. You know my fairies. You know my Look at it.
I really, really wanted my fiance to see the ferry trail. Like, I love that portion, and I think he would love it, but I think the distance we walked kind of ruined it for him. He's not an outdoorsy person, so by the time we got to the ferry trail, he was kind of overwhelmed and overstimulated and just wanted to go home, which is unfortunate. My fiance is such a city boy, and it's so funny. I give him such shit sometimes because he's from the South. But every time somebody tells me they're from the South, I always think like, oh, you know, they live in like this rugged area with like all forests and farms, and like every time we try to go do outdoorsy stuff, my fiance just like hates it. Like I want to go camping and he just like hates the idea of camping. And like when he tells me this stuff, I'm like, but bro, you're from the South. Like, and then he's like, well, I lived in a city in the South. We made our way back. We already switched to shoulders because someone is sleepy. You sleep? You sleeping?
No.
Yeah, someone's little legs gave out. So this adds to my workout because I get to carry 30 pounds of baby. You 30 pounds of baby? You like the forest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the water?
There's no more water.
We got in the car, drove home, and then we shortly later put our kid down, and then we just like spent some time together. We ordered Mother's Day dinner, and then we just spent the rest of the night watching some episodes of Wednesday. We're now almost through it. We have 2 more episodes left. That was pretty much Saturday. We also had alcohol, which is always nice. And then Sunday, which is actually Mother's Day, I had originally planned that maybe I might just be chill at home because I noticed Saturday night my ankle was bothering me and I don't know why. I thought maybe I might have rolled it when we were hiking or I stressed it or something like that. So I thought like I might just need to sit on my couch and elevate my ankle and just like watch TV. But when I woke up, it wasn't actually that bad. And I thought on it for a moment and I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to spend Mother's Day just home alone with my kid doing nothing, especially because the weather is so nice. I think like I want to go out and do something. So I decided to take our son to a botanical garden and just like sit and enjoy nature. We looked at the twisty trees. There weren't any fish in the little koi ponds that they have, which was a little disappointing because they're so pretty to look at. But we went in the flower maze that they have, but there weren't really flowers in bloom yet, and we walked around the field. I took him to the natural pond that has fish and frogs, but he didn't really care about that. So we ended up going up the field, up a hill. We parked under a tree, and I like spread out my beach blanket, and I had brought a book and some snacks for us and some of his toys. So I figured it'd be nice. I could set up and read my book, and he can play with his toys. And it wasn't a situation that I had to be so attentive to his whereabouts. I just needed to keep an eye on him, but he could walk a little bit further away from me. But in classic fashion of a toddler, he really didn't want to do that. What he wanted to do was dig, but there wasn't anywhere to dig. So he was pretty upset at first, but then he calmed down and started to just play with his trucks. And then he played with his toy avocado he brought. And I read a couple chapters of my book, and then I decided to play with him and run around and roll around and stuff like that. And then we hit a point, and I was like, yo, I'm hungry. So we left the park, and we went to Panera Bread. I just wanted something light, like a sandwich. I felt really bad that he wanted to dig, but the park we went to wasn't really a digging park like that. So I took him to the waterfront, because I knew he can dig in the sand. We saw these, like, really pretty rocks that someone had painted and, like, had put as you were walking. And then we went on this boardwalk thing that, like, you go up, over, and down. And then the first, like, dugout to go down to the water, we didn't go too close to the water because we weren't doing water activities, but we found a nice shady spot under a tree. And I set up the blanket for me to sit on, and I set him up with his little trucks, and he went to town, and he was so happy. It was, like, rolling in the sand. He was using his one truck and putting the sand in the other truck. He was dumping it on himself. He was dumping it like everywhere. He was just having a blast playing imagination in the sand with his truck. Where he was close enough to the water that I can walk down to the water edge and just like look at it, but like still be close enough that I can run and snatch him if I needed to. I saw some horseshoe crabs in the water. I saw like 3 of them. I saw one just like putzing by, which was really cool. It was just like, yo guys, I'm going to my place. Then when time kind of like rolled by and we were getting closer to dinner, I was tired. I was like, you know, my fiance is going to be coming home soon from New York, and we had scheduled we're going to watch a movie together. And it's just time to go, you know? And yeah, then the evening was pretty chill. When my fiance got home, we put our kid to bed. I was hungry, he was not, so I decided to eat the other half of my curry rice that I didn't eat the night before. I made additional roasted vegetables to go with it, and that was a really good decision. And we watched a movie. We watched Nope. I had wanted to see Nope in the movie theater, but it just didn't pan out. And I saw it was free on Prime, and I really liked it. I definitely recommend Nope if you didn't see it, because I know the trailer looked really weird, and it was a really weird movie, so if you're into weird movies, it'll be your spice. And then we went to bed as tired 30-year-olds do after a long weekend. That was my Mother's Day weekend, and it was great. It was fun, it was relaxing, it was not filled with work, and it was a great decision to do stuff away from a screen. So I know this video wasn't really about design, it was more like vloggy about like just like a weekend, which is nice to do every once in a while. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, that's really great. If you like videos about design and people living a design lifestyle, consider subscribing, because I do videos on design, but also like vlogs are cool. I hope all those who celebrated Mother's Day had a great Mother's Day. And if you don't celebrate Mother's Day, I just hope you had a great weekend, because at least in my area, the weather was like beautiful. I wish you good health and happiness, and I'll see you in the next one.